paper magic will survive like the heat death of the universe and will...
Oh, it's a smuggler's copter. Would you like to crew this? And then it crashes because they don't understand arithmetic.
All your cards belong to me.
2 minutes into macing him in the eyeballs, I switched to pepper spray. He's like, it's all right, refreshing. And went back to the mace.
Magic is dying, I'm done. Selling everything.
I might be a hoarder. And yes,
I don't have the crayons or glue to explain this to you right now.
What, are you gonna die twice?
Oil will be worthless before magic cards will.
well, okay, Dr. Man.
That's Mr. Dr. Professor Jason.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Brainstorm Brewery, your favorite podcaster's favorite podcast. You know, I was watching as I'm here, of course, with my co-hosts Jason and DJ as always, and I just want to let the two of you know I was watching a popular sports show. As I do, I like to watch around the world other hosts to see. Pick up tips.
Is that the name of the show?
Sort of thing.
A popular
it's
sports show?
Well, that's about right.
What is
and
the
I have to
best
say,
damn
I
sports
heard
show period or something.
yes, and it's also 2007.
I haven't watched ESPN since 2007 because I've never been in a situation.
That show wasn't
where
even
the
on
biggest,
ESPN.
dumbest guy got to pick what we watched on TV because I've never been to prison or back to college.
That show was on Fox Sports. Everyone knows that. The point is, I saw a host say, "Welcome to your favorite sports talk shows hosts." No, he said your favorite sports talk shows sports talk show. And I was like, other people are doing it too. This man clearly is listening to Brainstorm Brewery. Heard Jason say that. Scribed it for his own show. And now it's on Fox Sports. So I just thought you should know that you've made it. It's like
Officially been
it's like when that joke
plagiarized by Fox. That's good.
yeah, it's like when that joke you made shows up on everyone else's Instagram profiles once a year with no attribution to you.
Yeah, that's
You know what I'm talking about?
It
yeah?
always has my full Twitter handle, and I got no new followers out of it. Like, no one wants to read the rest of my tweets on the basis of I made a funny pun once.
Well, welcome into the show, everybody.
What show?
Weird.
What is this show?
This
Colton?
show is Brainstorm Brewery, and that's
What are we
DJ
doing,
Johnson
Brainstorm?
with the quiz over there. Pop quiz hot-shotting me.
What are we doing? I'm trying to let you do an introduction for our new listeners.
Welcome in, new listeners. I'm Corbin Hostler. That was Jason Alta I was talking to. That's DJ Johnson. There's, what's the word? Filibustering the podcast, but welcome in. Here we talk about magic,
You made
the gathering, finance.
You made an Elbridge Jerry face when he accused you of filibustering. You went, "Roar!"
I made a
What's that
Corbin's
mean?
really wrong and dumb face, but I'm not going to bring it up. But thank you for bringing it up because that wasn't filibustering. That was allowing you to continue the podcast.
This is the filibuster.
You're doing the bit where you're like, I'm not mad. I'm not mad.
You're filibustering.
But he's mad, folks. For those of you who didn't go to youtube.com/brainstorm brewery, probably.
BSB.
BSB, really cool. We got that. Cool. Excellent. Yeah, BSB. If you're not on YouTube, you didn't get to see DJ's cranky old man face where you look like one of Jeff Dunham's puppets. So
We're off to a great start this week.
Corbin,
You should-
it's not the URL.
what's not the URL? Who cares? JJ will put it on the screen. Or he'll put it in the show notes. If you're listening in your car,
No, go type in youtube.com/BSB.
If
Go
I give
Google.
them the right URL when they're in their
Yes.
car, it doesn't matter. If I give them the wrong URL when they're at their computer, they'll figure it out.
Yeah, Corbin's gonna Google the URL. He's gonna Google
Yes.
youtube.com/BSB. Click on it. That's
Yes,
how
and you
get
know
to the
what?
URL,
You know
Corbin.
what? That's how you get your SEO up. If you go directly to the link, no one cares about that except maybe YouTube. But Google cares if you type it in.
Wow, you're really rationalizing that thing my wife does also that I like to make fun of.
Typing the
Types
URL
in-
into Google.
She goes, opens Google and types in Gmail. I'm like, there's an icon right there.
I once watched a college professor Google for Yahoo.
Well,
Ask Jeeves,
yeah, man.
what is the URL for yahoo.com?
Well, welcome into the show, everybody. We are here to talk about Lord of the Rings and Magic Finance and all, of course, our generous sponsors and everything else that has happened this week. And it's a lot. I'm back from vacation in Vegas. Jason is back from vacation in Hawaii. DJ is back from vacation Where were you, DJ?
I don't think it's possible to vacation in Baltimore.
Baltimore. There you go.
I don't think that's a location. Like, that's where you go for a final vacation. That's where you go to just end it all. That's where you...
Yeah, you're either there for Johns Hopkins, or you're there for the Wire. From Johns Hopkins, where you're just as likely to die.
I'm just saying that the city of Baltimore has a nice little inner harbor area. It's got a little touristy spot. And it's also the spot where parents got mad that the Pokemon regionals were at.
Okay, I've been to Baltimore once and had a good time, that's all. But I'd like to hear this story. Go ahead.
Every city has a part where you look over across the street and, like, that's the dark side symbol. We don't go there. The light doesn't touch that area.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
The Wire. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Well, I guess the point is we all had fun. I certainly did. I was fantasy football drafting all weekend.
It was a bad time.
Oh. I had a middle seat on Southwest, but the one good thing about the middle seat on Southwest is, they famously have the no pre-assigned seats, which I hate, by the way. I was the second to last person on the plane, and I found the two smallest people possible to sit in between. So at least it wasn't a full flight. If you have, like, no choice in that matter, it could get pretty rough at the end. Not a big fan.
Dude, traveling with a small child is tech. Because as long as we get two seats together, there was no way I was going to be uncomfortable. Because if she sat in the middle, if we had the aisle and the middle, she sits in the middle and suddenly two adults are like, oh, thank God, I'm not, like, scrunched up against another adult. Having a small child as a buffer, it's great. I should always travel with a
and
small
child. You get to pre-board if you want as well.
Oh, yeah, if they're in a stroller, yeah. Or
we always take our stroller, yeah.
Can we put ourselves?
Your 7-year-old kid, like, his legs and arms hanging out the stroller, is like, "Wait, let me board."
Can we put ourselves in the position of those two people who were on the aisle and window of Corbin's plane? Like,
they were asleep just like me.
You're just crossing your fingers. You're like, oh, thank God the plane's fully boarded. We get this nice little open middle seat, and then they see this ogre barreling through the aisle.
Look, I read a book I read my...
There are some tiny ones I get to sit next to.
Can I have all 3 air nozzles? Thank you.
They went to sleep. I went to sleep. Everyone was happy. I woke up and read a book for a little while. It was all perfectly fine. You haters. Anyways, we are here to talk about Lord of the Rings and the One Ring, which, as of this recording, has not been found anywhere. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Wizards of the Coast has inserted 1 golden ticket. You see, in Willy Wonka, there were 5 golden tickets. In this, there's 1 golden ticket, or in this case, a golden ring, inserted somewhere in the world, and it has not yet been found, despite pre-releases and now release weekend blowing by. And this has led to even more hype. This has obviously, I think, been an absolute home run for Wizards. We're going to get to some of the new developments of it here in a little bit. But yeah, this is just all anyone is talking about.
It's not in a box. It's not going to be found that way, because people, as soon as it's found, people are going to stop buying. So what they're going to do is just hand it to some kid, like they do with those, like the 1 out of 1,000 promos they have at the Magic Fest. It's just be like, hey, who's winning this game? Here you go, kid. And run home, Charlie.
We were having this conversation at Baltimore of, like, if you open that and you scream, you don't leave that convention center alive.
Right?
Yeah, that's real.
People have been killed for so much less.
True.
Oh yeah.
You have to have the best poker face. You have to open it, stare at it,
walk outside the building,
and leave.
Yes.
Pass it in draft because you took a lightning bolt. That would be the baller move
collector
ever.
Booster draft for sure. Yeah.
To open the 1-up and pass it and take a lightning bolt and be like, it was better in this draft. Fight me.
Okay, Pascal.
The thing about that, though, is, like, that card is actually insane and limited.
Oh, yeah.
So, a couple of things have happened. If anyone is familiar with XQC, originally,
He's a small time streamer. He's like not really that big.
Not really that big. He was a professional Overwatch League player. I interviewed him back in the early days of Overwatch League when neither he nor it were anywhere what they are now, in different directions. But XQC opened about $10,000 worth of collector booster product on stream looking for the 1 of 1 ring. Failed.
Not only did he not find the 1 of 1 ring, he didn't find 9 Nazgul.
You can read all the
how hard it is to find 9 mix and match.
Yeah.
Some foils, some not.
The Nazgul are pretty difficult. You can read all about it in my first column for TCG Player coming up this week.
My dump wants
shout
top 9 Nazgul in your area.
So XQC is chasing it. The Nazgul have been the other big thing rising up in price, but everything else is nothing. Roz, okay.
Corbin, you had one shot to say XQC is chasing it, the Nazgul are chasing it.
The Pinkertons are chasing it.
So, I mean, look, I think that Wizards has been a loot box game since 1993. Okay. And I think that's magic. And that's always been the deal that we all sign up for. And that's fine. This is truly Willy Wonka style. The whole world seems to be getting in on this one ring chase. We had when this originally came up and people started talking about what it would go for, they were talking in increments and sometimes of tens of thousands of dollars. Okay. Because the most expensive cards previously were much less than anything we're seeing now. So the idea was, okay, well, it'll probably be like X 100 to 1,000 maybe plus. But like the thing is like those tens of thousands really mattered. Now we've gotten just blown past those bounties that first came out. Well, we're at a $2 million bounty.
Because like 100,000 for a Magic card is a lot because it's a lot for like a Yu-Gi-Oh card or a Pokemon card.
Yeah.
But nobody had to pay $100,000 to make $200,000 be the next thing. It was just a bunch of people who probably don't have $1 million being like, oh, I'll pay $1 million. Like some dude that just like hustles packs on whatnot is going to be like, oh yeah, I'll pay $2 million. And then instead of like, well, I'll pay $500,000 then. I don't know. You can just say whatever you want.
Money until a real
exactly.
Exactly.
So you can say, wow, people are going to pay $100 million because some guy on Twitter said they were going to pay $100 million. Well, it's like with all the bids on eBay where it's like, oh, the Pokemon card sells for $10 million, and it's just like, oh, the highest actual bid was $10,000.
Look, here's why I don't want to get too deep into that myself, is because I don't want, and this is obviously not what you all are doing, but there are real people who have real stores, whatever, companies that have put out the bounties on it as they've increased. And I don't want to make it seem like we're impugning any of their intent to follow through.
They're to put out the highest bounty, they have to compete against a made-up number. And they have to bid above that. They wouldn't have had to offer that much if you had to actually have that much to say it was worth that much.
David Adams was the first to really ramp it up to a real 7-digit number.
Yes.
And they doubled the previous number, I believe. It was 500K for a bit, and then they doubled it to 1 mil. And David Adams was sort of the first real known entity that could prove sort of that they have that capital just based on their past history in the industry of mostly sports, but like also other TCGs. Like they've been buying high-end Magic for a while, just like Dan Bach has. They were the first ones to put up a very real number, and now we have the sort of the old money coming in from Europe, I think, which is sort of again doubling that. But I think that anybody who threw the first shot at around 100K was basing this on not even just previous completed sales of Magic cards and other TCGs, but also of just like things in the hobby space related to Lord of the Rings. Edwin at Edwin13 on Twitter was sort of the first person to reference like the Aragon's movie prop sold for 400K. This is less cool than that. Therefore,
yeah,
it shouldn't be a mill. And breaking that is sort of breaking everybody's expectations, not just like one person.
I don't know if I would have agreed with that analysis, but that's a very smart thing to do, to actually go look at real world comps.
Yeah, Ed had several other examples of like, well, this sold for this much, this rookie thing sold for this much.
That's what I'd be.
These other items in the space that are related to the I don't know what you'd call Lord of the Rings. I guess like
fandom.
This fandom.
It's weird that they had the auction
much less than $1 million.
That we just saw the auction in real time before the item was even produced. Mm-hmm. That's crazy. Like being in a room where there's like a 1-of-1 magic card up on a podium and saying, "Oh, pay $2 million" is one thing, but like betting $2 million on the concept that it's like an NFT at that point. It's like somewhere out in a booster pack is the 1-of-1 ring. Everyone agrees it's yours. If it's ever found, we'll give it to you.
Well, I'll have you know,
it's just an NFT at that point.
I'll have you know, I got in a big argument with my 7-year-old over what we would do if he opened the 1-of-1 ring. And I said that we would sell it. And he said, "You can't tell me what to do with my cards." And that is the
Your son is a sovereign citizen.
That is the precedent that has been set in our house. And I tried to counter with, "Son, if I tell you to do something like that, it would, it's only for safety or for your own good. We only make you do something when it's important." And he said, "Well, why is it important to make me sell my cards?" I didn't have a great answer for it. I said he could have $2 million. And he said, "But then I won't have the one ring."
This is like the libertarian seatbelt
He
argument.
couldn't tell the difference between that one ring card and a photocopy of that card, though.
I did try to get there by telling him, because he's always on me because I have these really cool Pokemon things on my wall. He's always like, "I want a base set 1 booster box," which I don't even know how many tens of thousands of dollars those are. And I had finally maybe made some progress with, "All right, kiddo, if you get the 1 ring and you let me have you sell it, you could get 2 of those boxes."
So I found the next thing I'm going to waste my money on now that I'm not buying Magic. Like
so in case he opens the 1-of-1 ring, I've settled the argument in advance.
That's good. I've started buying battle damage BattleBots parts on eBay.
Do they come with an NFT? Do they come with the NFT of when they took the damage?
Some of them did, yeah.
You get like a GIF, like a special image link of a GIF.
Yeah, of this is the shot. Yeah, well, the other.
You get a framed. You get a framed photo.
Some stuff actually right here,
dude. High res framed photo along with the part. Oh, look at that.
This is a part of the top of Ripperoni, and it's signed by everybody.
Nice. I think that's cool, Jason. You got to get him in some kind of like display.
And look, I got the wheel cover from Mad Catter. Huh. This stuff is so affordable. It's crazy. You think,
you think this junk would be expensive?
Yeah. I think as the sport gets more popular, not only the more vintage-y damaged parts.
Jason, BattleBots peaked in 2003 on Comedy Central, man.
So anyway, what I will say about eBay is that I paid like a couple $100 for these, and the saw blade from the when Sawblaze fought Minotaur. Sawblaze ended up winning the giant nut. That went for about $2,500. So like the better the bot and the better season they had and the better part it is, there's like a 10x spread between like just the most basic thing you can buy and then like premium. So I don't know. I'm starting to see a market emerging. I have to think in those terms. What's
the
that?
better of a nut they had, the more.
When will you let your kids sort your sharp metal objects? Is the question.
Oh, when they're bad. Same as my comic books.
Liliana, you got your blood on my expensive piece of scrap metal.
So back to
maybe she'll get Lockjaw. That's what we want.
Back to Lord of the Rings here for a minute. The next sort of evolution of things here is that obviously, as the one ring has not been opened, people are asking, where might the 1-1 ring be? And there has been, Cass talked about this on the podcast last week. Go check it out. The idea that maybe Wizards is putting them in the holiday boxes or gift boxes or whatever you want to call them. Because if it goes in the first weekend, I guess that was a cool promotion to sell pre-release product. But since when was selling pre-release product a problem for Wizards? If the longer the 1-1 of ring is out there, the more juice to the market is. And that's how you have things like XQC coming into it and all these different things. So this idea is now out there
to include it.
Well, yeah, well, this idea of it being put into these boxes, these other boxes, is now out there. There's been content and tweets and all these things about it. And that's sort of where we're at now. And that I don't know what to think of that. I know that we talked on the podcast coming in, like, what are they going to do to make sure this is actually found and opened? So the other people are now kind of taking it a step further and saying this is maybe it. What do the two of you think?
Well, the gift boxes have been releasing later than the set release. So it's not that you can't go out and buy them and have them in hand during pre-release weekend or set release. So that is part of the rumor is, they want to milk this for a few weeks. And then the other part of the rumor is, these products are more likely to be opened when they're given as gifts or whatever. So that is the logic behind why those would have a more likely chance, air quotes. And we've seen the prices of those gift boxes be reflective of that. This is kind of like the extreme version of the Mind Seize Commander 2013 deck, where you could go to Walmart and buy True Nemesis for $50 and then sell it online for $1 million. Oath of the Gatewatch Fat Pack boxes. There have been plenty of products you can go buy on a Target shelf and then flip online. And this is just the more extreme version of that, where you're supposed to go to Target or Walmart and buy it, and then list it on TCG Player. And
you're supposed to have your grandpa save all of his money so that he can buy you one chocolate bar so that you can pull your family out of poverty with the 1-1 ring. That's how badly you are supposed to grind for these booster packs.
Do you see some kid on crutches at the LGS like, please, sir, could I have 3 more basic lands? I could play my first F&M. If I get to the 60 card minimum, I could. And they're like, this ain't no charity. No free basic lands for you. And he's going to find that kid and give him the 1 ring. He's going to run home. And he's like, I can't run. I lost me leg. Below the knee, I did.
He was on crutches a few minutes ago, yeah.
I lost my leg in the war.
Hobble, Charlie!
What's a Magic the Gathering card worth?
That card you've got is worth $2 million. That's right. This guy has a card worth $2 million. Hobble home like your life depends on it.
Mr. Altzer, what's a Magic card? We're in 20th century London, we are.
Yeah, but then he gets home and his grandpa is like, son, there's 4 grandparents sharing a bed. This is very unsanitary.
What, freaky?
And his kid, it's Charlie the Chocolate Factory, man. It's not freaky, it's just sad. And his kid goes, you can't tell me what to do with my cards.
So here's the thing. Canonically, Charlie's family ate like cabbage stew all the time because they were poor, and they all shared one duvet. So it was just like one giant fart under there, right?
That's what I'm saying. Ventilation. It was deeply unsanitary, man.
And listen, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory did acknowledge that farts are real when he drank the fizzy liquid drink.
And they farted their way to the ceiling.
And they farted their way down. They acknowledge farts.
Do we need to know if farts are canon? Is that the
I'm just saying they gave us the context. Should anyone ask, they addressed it. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that matters. I'm just saying it's there if you need it.
All right, I'm going to take this to a slightly more serious point here. If I were anyone in the world making content about the 1 ring and the 1-1 ring, and in fact, I am. In case you didn't know, I have a podcast. I'd be very, very, very careful about when I suggested Wizards of the Coast and or Hasbro was doing with an extremely valuable collectible, because I believe that there would be some risk to saying it's available in X when it wasn't actually available in X because it was put in this product line all along. That is a very serious legal thing, and it therefore is a very serious legal thing to suggest that it was done that way. I think that's the right way to talk around that. Allegedly. Supposedly. I'm just saying, like, that's a real, like, we're seeing people, and this is a big deal with a lot of money flowing around. And do you think people would not be upset if it turns out it was never going to be it could never have been in one of the collector booster boxes you bought on pre-release weekend? You don't think that would upset the market? There's some real, like, matters there that people need to be careful of in their, desire to speculate for views on the internet, right or wrong. Brainstorm Brewery is brought to you by Manscaped, the best in below-the-waist grooming. Their products are precision-engineered tools for the family jewels. The Performance Package is the ultimate hygiene bundle. Join over 8 million people worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer. We have 20% and free worldwide shipping if you use the code BSB. You'll get the Performance Package 4.0. It's really a game changer. Inside the package, you'll find the Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, the Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer, the Crop Preserver and Crop Reviver, as well as a gift of performance boxer briefs and a travel bag. This is everything you need if you are traveling and want to take care of yourself just a little bit better than maybe you have in the past. Manscaped has all of the tools for you. Join over 8 million people worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer. We have 20% and free worldwide shipping if you use the code BSB. The final piece of news to drop with the 1-1 ring is this very special premium experience from Beckett Grading Services.
Not an ad. Hashtag not sponsored.
Hashtag not sponsored. JJ can drop the video in here maybe, or a link to it at least, but here's the important part.
Play some rock metal music backwards during this. I think it's satanic, so it's definitely not sponsored.
The one treasure to rule them all. A custom one-of-one Beckett label inspired by Lord of the Rings. This is if you take your one-of-one ring, the 1-1 ring to Beckett to be graded. This
I like how you're just going to take it all these places like it's the Stanley Cup. It's like,
yeah, it's on tour.
The One Ring and I, with like your 2 armed bodyguards.
Wouldn't you?
The One Ring in like a bulletproof Lexington suitcase. Like, the One Ring and I need to go to Beckett's now.
Well, I will say this.
Handcuff it to your wrist.
There is no amount of protection that is too much for your trip to sell the 1-1 ring, right?
You're just gonna road trip it through a flyover state, taking pictures of yourself and the ring and those little hole shaped like you and the cardboard cutout like.
All right, I'm gonna continue to read
you and
this.
The One Ring seeing the biggest rubber band ball together, like.
God. Yep. Having coffee, IHOP late at night. All right, here's the rest of the experience offered. 1-of-1 Lord of the Rings inspired artwork by Magic the Gathering artist Titus Lunter, to be used on a custom Zion case, playmat, and fine art print. 2 complimentary airline tickets to Beckett HQ to submit the 1-of-1 ring for grading in person.
So everyone in the country will know where you will be and when.
Well, they better pick you up. You better not be Ubering, okay? That's how a hit gets taken on you. They better be waiting to pick you up with a limo. I'll say that.
A bulletproof limo.
That's, yes.
That turns into a submarine.
It gets better, Jason.
But a submarine that works.
A Beckett gift card to use toward future Beckett grading services.
A Beckett gift card? They can't even give you cash.
They can't even give you... Look, this has...
Is it the cosplay contest again?
Yeah, I know. That's the vibe. What's the place?
Vegas, I think?
No. The store. The gift card.
Oh, Joann's Fabrics.
The Joann's has huge Joann's Fabrics vibes to it.
No, listen. If you were the guy who opened the One Ring, all of a sudden all your graded cards are regradable. So Beckett comes out with a new thing that goes over one of their old cases. So it's like Jason's off-center burgeoning 6.5, but this is a 10. It's a gem mint Jason's slabbed 6.5
you guys are thinking
burgeoning.
about this all wrong. So you get the One Ring graded, right? And it comes back like an 8.5. You just slide that gift card on the table. You're like, try again, motherfucker.
But okay, there's a final.
It's got your thumbprint from when you ran home
It's
sweatily.
$20 to get it relabeled.
There's a final piece of this puzzle, this exclusive package to genuinely make you feel special. 4 booster boxes from upcoming Magic the Gathering product releases.
Booster boxes?
That's 1 Caverns of Ixalan booster box. That's 1 Wilds of Eldraine booster box. Probably draft boosters.
Corbin, you can buy so many friends with that $2 million. Are you kidding? Those are draft boxes.
What can you do with those 4?
How many friends do you think you could buy with $2 million if you're the kind of person that has to buy friends?
A couple. It depends. What website?
$2 million doesn't go that far if you're the kind of guy that has to buy friends.
What website are you using?
Friendster.
The problem with my
friends on. I wonder if you can get friends on Fiverr.
Do you need some better friends? I know some.
That's a good point. A person for $5 an hour would pretend to be your friend on Fiverr. So.
What's the I think you should leave line for this in the?
He can slap.
Huh? No. Have you the new season where he's like pays for his friends? Have you seen this episode?
I've seen
this
season.
I don't remember what skit you're talking about. I've seen the season, but...
This is a literal skit where he's talking about how I need better friends, and he pays for his friends, and he's like...
Oh, right, yeah, at the dinner.
What level are you at?
How many friends have you got?
Yeah.
What level are you at? Yeah.
Okay, here.
I mean, you could probably get some celebrities to be your friends, but it'd get really expensive on Cameo.
True.
Just like every conversation, you just have to dictate to them.
I actually have a new idea.
Oh, no, here's a cameo I want. I want Marguerite Moreau to say, "That's right, we're friends." And she'd be like, "No, that's weird." And then I would use that and be like, "Yeah, I'm friends with Marguerite Moreau. I don't believe you. Ask her yourself. That's right, we're friends." See?
Who is that, you might ask? JJ, drop the clip.
Hi, this is Connie from the Mighty Ducks, and you're listening to the Brainstorm Brewery, which is not actually a real brewery.
Drop the clip.
Is that copyrighted?
We paid for a month and only used it once!
It doesn't, copyright doesn't matter. That shit's on my desktop, bro.
No, I mean, when you said drop the clip, I thought you were going to, like, drop the movie clip.
What the fuck?
Better.
No, man. Drop the fucking cameo.
I want a cameo from Cameo, but I bet he knows that he's Cameo on Cameo, so he probably charges
Mr.
a
Cameo.
lot.
Is that like the last name of the guy who started the company?
No.
Oh.
The artist, Cameo. The guy who did the song Word Up. So if you want him to say Word Up, if you want Cameo on Cameo to say Word Up, it probably costs a lot. I'm just saying. Like when Smokey Robinson was charging a bunch to say Chinooka. Same vibe. If you're Cameo on Cameo, you know Word Up is it's the word.
Okay, Jason. So Cameo it's spelled the same, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't see Cameo the artist, but I do see
some.
Wait. I do see the CEO of Cameo's mom at Cameo Mom.
Okay, how much is that? I want that.
Not expensive. $10.
Nice.
I just want her to say, "That's right, we're friends."
This is one of the reviews. A wonderful example in solid parenting has been shown by Mrs. Galanis. Your son, Stephen, has created an amazing medium and you should be so proud.
Yeah, but it's not like her voice is distinctive. You could have her be any old lady, right?
Wait. The entire staff at Costa Rica's call center appreciates the time, effort, and quick response from a very classy lady. Your personal shout out was a home run. May your fortunes continue to grow as Cameo continues to make clients smile.
Neato.
Nice.
Some call center in Costa Rica got the CEO of Cameo's mom to do a video for them. That's where we are.
I would like
let's
to pay money to get Elon Musk's mom to apologize.
All right, that's enough Lord of the Rings. We want to talk to you about one of our sponsors, Coalesce Apparel and Design, the absolute best place for all your Magic gear needs. It has all of your favorite content creators and your favorite content creators' favorite podcasts.
And you know what we did? You know what we did for you, the listener? We know that typing in the entire URL is sometimes a little much.
You got to go to Google. You got to go to Google and type it in. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, first you have to go to https google.com. Then you got to look for Yahoo, and then you got to ask Jeeves.
// but whatever.
And like, I mean, you could use the referral link that lets them know that you got it, but like, if you can't be bothered with all that, you can just go to the base website. I slipped Cedric a clean 20 when we were in Baltimore. I slid it across the table, and I gave him a little wink, and I was like, put us on the front page.
Ooh.
And yeah, all you have to do is scroll your little mouse wheel. Your mouse probably has one of those.
Is there a gift code BSB yet?
BSB? Brainstorm Brewery, actually.
Yeah.
It is Brainstorm Brewery.
If you're going to slip him 20, get our gift code to be BSB and not Brainstorm Brewery.
The gift code, in fact, is Brainstorm Brewery.
And so you can click on the Brainstorm Brewery collection. There are 5 beautiful products in there. We got stickers, we got hoodies, we got both designs. We are still working on the next sticker of Cass's face, so you can just slam that on your laptop.
My cat slammed my laptop on the ground. I had to go to Coalesce and buy new EDH Rec and new Brainstorm Brewery stickers to go on my laptop. So my cat is stimulating the economy.
Nice work, Kitty.
And so you can go to the clearance section. If you don't want to get the really nice BSB stuff, that's fine. You can get 3 shirts or 4 shirts for the price of 1, really. You can go to the clearance section. You can get, and you know what? Every store in the world, every single capitalist hellscape contributor is like, our discounts don't stack. The ones that Coalesce do, the gift code stacks with the clearance sale, because it's not a discount code, it's a gift code. So you can get that gift with the clearance sale.
Breaking bulk time. Breaking bulk time. Break.
Oh, yeah, breaking bulk. There's so much good stuff.
It's a pick. Breaking bulk. The end.
All right, on to Breaking Bulk, the game that I typically win. I'm going to go first. This is a card that was originally in an older set, but the version I'm giving you today is a black uncommon from Theros Beyond Death.
Originally in an older set? Underworld Dreams?
I'm going to change the answer, so no.
Grey Merchant of Asphodel?
Was there a second card
Okay,
like
it's
that?
definitely one of those two. For sure.
Cool.
Those are the two. All right, Underworld Dreams is what I was going to go with first.
What an unguessable card.
Hey, I thought it might trick you up. It's a 60-cent card. At the time, it got reprinted. It was pretty much bulk, even with the older one being worth money. It was just an effect that I think this was a rare at one point, maybe like 10, 15 years ago in a set. And then people just kind of didn't care about it. And yet, turns out
Corbin,
Magic players
what was
don't
Underworld
change.
Dreams first printing?
A set, he said.
A set.
Which set?
Revised. Alpha. Beta. Ooh, first shot unlimited. I have no clue.
You're hurting me on the inside, and that's where it hurts the most.
I'm going to click and find out now.
It's Legends, Corbin.
Oh, that's cool. It's Legends. Oh, that one's expensive. You should pick that out of your bulk.
I refuse to let this guy say that he typically wins the breaking bulk.
Well, why don't you go ahead and try to do better, Jason?
You tripped at the 1 yard line and broke your femur with that one. You're showboating. Oh, mine's pretty good. The card I have for you guys today for the breaking bulk is a Conflux Gold Uncommon.
Fusion Elemental.
No.
That card's worthless, actually. I used to always pick that when I saw it, and it was always
and
worthless.
Fusion Elemental wasn't in Conflux.
Kiss of the Amisha.
No.
Corbin's, this is not the draft picks from 2008 game. You might be a little confused. I'm going to take you with your walker and just slowly...
Okay, it's stop. It's the counterspell one then.
No.
Hindering Light is a common, by the way. Just in case
Hindering Light was Shards of Alara.
Also that, but
I thought it was okay.
Conflux Uncommon Gold.
3 colors.
It wasn't Kiss of the Anisha. Damn, that was such
Mystic?
a good guess.
Not Vine Mystic, baby.
Oh yeah, that part's cool.
Those are disappearing on the basis of Not Vine Mystic goes in the Aragorn decks, the 4-color Aragorn.
Ah, sure does.
Because I was going to say Trace of Abundance, but I feel like that's one we picked already. Trace of Abundance foils went from like $1 to $2 to $5 to $10 over the period of like a year. I think Not Vine Mystic foils could follow the same-ish trend. Trace of Abundance gets played about twice as much in EDH currently, but Not Vine Mystic is a shoe-in in basically all of those Aragorn decks. So.
Alara foils do have a weird asterisk next to them because Wizards tried a foil-only booster pack as a very brief experiment.
With collector boosters.
Yeah.
That's what it was. It was the first collector booster.
It was a collector booster,
They were... Yeah. And for a long time, most Alara foils were and continue to be on par with their original printings.
Which is really just ahead of their time because that's how it is in 2023 with new cards.
Yes.
So, yeah, Not Vine Mystic foils under like $2 are still disappearing. So, if it was a $2 foil on the basis of it not getting played all that much, I think if you compare it to Trace of Abundance, it has a similar curve shape probably, and in which case buying under $2 is a slam dunk. So there.
I have a card where the extended art is worth less than the regular art. It is a Streets of New Capenna white rare.
Is white rare or white mythic?
Rare.
Because I would have said it was the one with Myriad, the rare. With the...
This is a rare gold set symbol from Streets of New Capenna, and it only has one printing. Well, it has the extended art in the promo pack, but the regular printing of this is more than the extended art, which I just find interesting.
What are the prices? Maybe that'll help me.
Not super different. The extended art is 60 cents market price. The regular art is $1 market price, close to it, but...
I actually don't know too much about that set.
I think it is a card that you would play in EDH and enjoy.
Probably. I have no memory of the Streets
Corbin,
of New Capenna.
champion of Breaking Bulk, are you going to take a swing?
Hit me with the high points again. I'll come in. It'll come to me one more time.
Streets of New Capenna, white rare. Both printings are under $1. It has a mechanic from Lorwyn on it.
It has Hideaway, so it's the white one that makes soldiers.
It makes citizens, Corbin.
Yeah,
you're right.
Makes citizens. Rabble Rousing is a 5-mana enchantment with Hideaway 5. Whenever you attack with one or more creatures, create that many 1/1 green and white citizen
That's still a bulk rare?
tokens. It's not a bulk rare. It's like $1. But it's still very cheap if that's what you're asking.
Oh, okay.
Then if you control 10 or more creatures, you may play the exiled card without paying its mana cost. So not super hard to get 5 creatures in white and attack with them. And you can play some crazy big things like your bootlegger stash or your 8-mana enchantments that buff all your you could do all the big expensive creature based stuff that these token decks do enjoy doing. And then you continue to have a rabble rousing enchantment that just makes more things when you attack.
It rouses some rabble.
All those things happen. The card is still under $1. I could consider this a pick of the Breaking Bulk. But it's just interesting that the extended art is so much cheaper than is just cheaper than the regular version, I think. So
it's wacky.
Yeah. All right, fair enough. Okay, well, there you go. I think that this I gave you as a toss up just to keep you in it. You know, it was good. It's good. I like DJs. This was a nice recent pick for you. Was that a Roku pick?
He won't tell.
You'd have to be on YouTube to see the I think you should leave facial expressions that just went on there. The point is, that must have been a Roku pick. Rabble Rousing's a sweet card. What are I
didn't do.
I didn't pick.
Oh, I introduced people to that over the weekend. I love it. That show is just so perfect when you introduce people to it for the first time, because there's a guy watching it with us who just spent the whole first episode going, what the and I'm like, I was just like, I understand, man. I understand.
That guy's not on the Turbo team.
And then listen, it gets to the last skit of the first episode, and it's the mud pie it's the mud pie on your hands with Glenn from The Walking Dead. They're giving gifts, and he's like, "Oh, I like it." And he's like, "Well, if you like it, give me the gift receipt. I'll eat it, whatever." Right? But the point is, you're doing the same thing. You're just like, "What the?" And you just really want someone to call the guy an asshole, and finally Glenn does it, and it just keeps getting worse and worse. And then one of the like normal people cuts in out of nowhere and goes, "You swear to God?" And all of a sudden you realize that the entire episode has been setting you up to get you with that twist. And then you're like, "Oh, I get it." And then it's great.
My favorite.
And that's exactly what happened.
My favorite skit from the most recent season was the Pay It Forward fast food one.
Oh, yeah.
I'm doing a thing! Let me do the thing!
Yeah, dude, that was the whole.
55
And he was going to apologize to the guy. He's like, "Oh, right, I can just run."
Just run. Which was also very good because they've done the, okay, well, they get really serious and sad at the end sort of thing on a lot of the skits in the show. So it was really nice for them to like have that going.
Joke,
like, oh, yeah,
exactly?
I can run. 55 burgers, 55 fries.
$618.
So good. Anyways, yeah. So look, let's. But what I was getting to is all of those things are good. So what is not so good are some of the reprints in this upcoming summer super bundle. What is it? The summer Secret Lair Super Drop.
The summer Secretversary Super Special.
Yeah. It's a super one. In case you're not done spending money chasing the 1/1 ring, you can get things like Slip on the Ring. Your summer super drop Secret Lair. So this is 7 new Secret Lairs that Wizards is putting out. I'll give you the titles of them. We'll talk about the hits. More Adventures in Middle-earth. That makes sense. Death is Temporary. Metal is Forever. I got some Grixis colored
said
cards there.
the Wizards employees who have never heard of oxidation. Am I right?
Sure, man.
Do you mean oxidation or oxidization?
Yes.
Ooh, good answer, though. Goblin and Squablin is up next, and this is some very themed art that is probably based on something I don't get, but that's cool. It looks neat. Bad to the Bones, plural, all about
Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Some skeletons, but also Necrogen Mists. Oof. Artist Series Spotlight, Ryan Alexander Lee. That's people aren't thrilled that Nemesis of Reason is getting reprinted, but these are some cool arts, along with Worlds Wide Warm and Twilight Prophets is a big hit there. The Stars Gaze Back. DJ was talking about that one earlier. It's got some cool ones there. Risen Reef, Flemkin Harbinger, Voice of Resurgence, Omnath. And then featuring the Mountain Goats. I don't know what a mountain goat is, but these are a lot of basic mountains. There you go. It's your summer super drop. Jason, non-ironically, I'm not trolling. What is the Mountain Goats?
The Mountain Goats is a band.
What kind of music? Recent band? Old
Yeah,
band? Why are they popular? Like, why are they so popular that they have a Wizard's Secret Lair
John
super drop?
Darnielle plays Magic the Gathering.
There you go. Well, if
and
that
he
meant
will
anything
sign
to
your
you.
Magic cards when you meet him, even though he doesn't love signing Mountain Goat because he didn't do the art. It's weird signing another artist's card because guitarists are artists. I don't know. He's great. John Darnielle's cool, and he wrote a fiction book, and he was on a book tour last year. So his book tour dates coincided with his music tour dates. So that was cool. John Darnielle's great. The Mountain Goats are great. If you don't listen to them, I hope you die. I hope we both die. Ha ha! Mountain Goats references.
I just want to have a moment of silence for Nemesis of Reason. This is one of the OG
true.
Casual all-stars from the ancient Paleolithic era of Magic Finance, where you would trade your very expensive Thought Seizes and Mutavaults for Nemesis of Reason, Nemesi of Reason. Nemesis of Reason.
No,
and
not Nemesis. Nemesis.
Nemesicities of Reason. And you would then sell these or trade them to casual players for a lot of money. And this getting another reprint, it's just a nail in the coffin that didn't need to be there.
Jim.
This used to be a $7-10 card, and now it is.
That's back when EDH was a format where like milling people actually hurt them instead of getting them one step closer to killing you with Thassa's Oracle on turn 2.
This is a card where you would play it in 60-card casual, and you would like it.
Yeah.
And now it's a bulk
Mind
rare.
Funeral was the most expensive uncommon for that set for a minute.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a shot at. Not a shot. I don't want to put this. I'm going to have a take about the Bad to the Bones super drop here. Cool art. All skeletons. It's Tiny Bones, Bottomless Pit, Necrogen Mist, Reassembling Skeleton, and Gaia Reach Sanitarium. Cool cards. Although I have to say, Necrogen Mist and Bottomless Pit are not cards that people like you for playing Magic. And
That's going to annoy the f out of your pod starter kit.
So I'm kind of surprised to see such a hatery group of cards. Like people... Hey, I play Nicol Bolas, Ravager, and I've gotten to a point where I took most of the cards like Necrogen Mists out of the deck. People hate you. You just die. Yeah. It's like you play a symmetrical effect, but
Tiny
people
Bones
hate
was a
you
deck
and you
that
die.
Everybody tolerated for 2 months.
I am very excited to see Tiny Bones get a first foil printing. I do have a Sig River Cutthroat Tribal Rogues deck. It's kind of fun.
Sure. Yeah.
I will say as an overarching rule,
Typo, yes.
Most of these secret layers are not particularly great value. The Lord of the Rings one is almost offensive, but
so the Lord of the Rings one is Slip on the Ring, which is just a combat trick or a blink effect. Gandalf, Friend of the Shire, which is cool. It's Mirror of Galadriel, which is also, I guess, cool, and it's the mana-fixing land Shire Terrace. That's it.
We're getting several random first-time foils, like Risen Reef, Necrogen Mist, just a lot of, this is the first time this card is printed in foil, or first time it's printed in foil as a reprint. Some Jumpstart All-Stars like Tiny Bones and Muxus. But unless you are really, really eager to get these specific printings of these cards immediately, I would just stay away from basically this entire product. Like the foil Goblins one or the foil Tiny Bones one are not the worst, but I just think there's plenty of other places you can put your money in the next few months that aren't just this.
Yeah, the Death is Temporary, Metal is Forever one's kind of cool. I don't necessarily love the art style or whatever, but Nekuzar, Sir Conrad, Underworld Dreams, Waste Not, and Wheel of Misfortune, that's a nice set of cards. I like that.
Yeah, like...
The Goblin set is really good, right? Shattergang Brothers, Goblin Lackey, Goblin Matron, Goblin Recruiter, and Muxus. Like, that one I think is very good.
I mean, it's good, but the only ones of like Goblin Lackey is not that high demand of a card anymore. It's just
too
not
fair.
It gets blocked by the what's it called, the halfling Curious Halfling.
Look, I'm not gonna. Yeah, I understand, but like I don't know, like it's a nice condensed set of cards that all fit in a thing. Like goblins are popular. Like I don't know. It's a Matron and Recruiter. There's just a lot of good stuff here.
I'm not saying there's not bad cards in it. I'm saying don't buy it if you are looking for a secret lair that is an easy flip. And don't buy it if you're looking for a secret lair just in general. I don't think these are great from a financial perspective, and if you are the player that this is your target market, I think that you will be able to find almost all of these secret lairs cheaper on the secondary market if you are willing to be patient for an extended period of time.
I should point out, to be fair, the big pull to the Middle Earth one is that it's done in the style of the animated movie.
But so was the other one where we've seen something similar to this. Like, that we saw a previous, I think it was the Dungeons & Dragons one, where it's the D&D style movie, and all those cards are worthless now. You can get the entire Secret Lair's worth of singles for like $5 or $10, if that. Yeah,
I am not disputing that. I just wanted to be fair to why they've chosen what they've chosen, etc. Speaking of choosing, it's time for Pick of the Week, where we make choices brought to you by MTG Stocks, sponsor to this podcast, sponsor to some great content that Jason puts up over there. There's regular content. We're back into the finance writing game, I guess, huh, Jason? I'm writing finance content over on TCG Player. Jason's working at MTG Stocks. Go check out the premium side of MTG Stocks as well. That has a ton of tools you want to see, and it helps us get the most up-to-date information that we use to bring you Pick of the Week.
Pick of the Week, Pick of the Week, Pick of the Week. Time for the Pick of the Week.
Jason, as the MTG Stocks writer, we'll let you have the honors. Would you like to go first with Pick of the Week? What are you looking at?
I would indeed. And if you go to MTG Stocks, you will see that this card is up very casually, very subtly. But it's going to spike here pretty soon. And the telltale sign of that is if I notice it is selling for more on TCG Player than it is on Card Kingdom. That usually means Card Kingdom is sold out, which usually means the card is on its way. Archfiend of Ifnir. Lots of chances to reprint this. They haven't taken, I guess. Whenever you cycle or discard. So it's not too specific to a given set. It's doing a lot of work. Plus the fact that it's a demon type matters a little bit more these days with all the legendary demons. So Archfiend of Ifnir seems like it's about to go again. And I bet it gets restocked around $5-6 over at Card Kingdom, which means it's like 4 or 5 on TCG.
The only reason this card is not $8 is because it had a buy a box promo that just crushed the supply.
Yeah.
That is the only reason this is not an $8
But
to $10
like,
card.
it's weird because people don't really want yeah. I can't get rid of those. But yeah, all that being the case, it's going to go up eventually. So
yes,
why not right now?
All right, there you go. All right, DJ, I'll let you go next if you'd like.
I have one of my namesake cards that go to Europe cards.
Sure.
This is Yuta Takahashi's World Championship promo, Fairy Mastermind. This card came out of the gates very hot. It has died down quite a bit, and it's starting to creep back up if you look at its graph on MTG Stocks. TCG Player bottoms out at around 5 or 6. The cheapest copies in Europe are €7 before shipping. And this is a card that has always exported well for me. And cards that export well tend to just creep up over time until... Because they tend not to come back into the country. And so this is just... I mean, it's one that's also a rogue, so there's that. I do like having an extended art foil with Flash in my hand and just staring at it and not actually participating in the Commander game. But I like the regular old non-foil, non-extended art versions of this. Just if you can get them at $5, I would do it. If you see one cheap one on TCG Player, just snatch it up, get them in trade out your random cards that you don't use, and that have worse buy list prices for these, and you will always have a very strong buy list out for these, both in person and at event, or both in person and through the mail.
Yeah. Also, that card's sweet. Just saying. Love that World Championship in the cycle of since they started redoing the player designed World Championship cards. They've all, I think, been pretty good, and this is one of my favorites. This one turned out really well. All right, I will finish it off this week. I'm looking at a modern staple here that is too cheap, and I understand that's been cheap for a while. It's just not going to last forever. Crashing Footfalls is $2. It's
wild.
One of the best decks in Modern. Modern Horizons 1. Clearly, there's enough product out there that it stayed. I mean, it previously had a spike when, a couple years ago when it first sort of became a thing. And since then, it's just stayed under $1 even for several years while being a good deck. And now it's starting to creep up. It's $2, and I just know, it's going to be $5 soon. There's
Somebody did well at a Legacy tournament with this too recently. I saw on Twitter they basically built the Modern version of this deck, played it in Legacy with more accelerants and more counter magic, and they were just telling people to deal with 2 8/8s on turn 2 with Force of Will backup. Or 2 4/4s.
4/4s,
yeah, and they were just...
No, it works. Like, that's basically, if you watch that deck play out in Modern, I think, is in a good spot. I mean, we'll see what happens at the Pro Tour here in a month, but it's one of those things where they do all this trading back and forth. It's a very weird stuff, high power format.
And then sometimes you have a sock full of batteries on turn 2.
Well, at the end, it's like you're supposed to... Anything crazy can happen in Modern, but then at the end, it's like, well, we got this Shardless Agent in this 4/4. I hope they get there in the end once we've exhausted each other's resources type thing. You
just got to give them something they're not ready for. It's Rhinos. Yeah. It's always been Rhinos. You remember during when Mirage was in Standard?
Nobody can answer yes to that question, Jason.
Yeah.
Remember when Mirage was in Standard?
Yeah, man. Natural Rhinos. Remember that? You just got an 8/4 trample, and they're like, this whole format cannot deal with an 8/4 trample.
The people who are listening to this podcast were being born when their parents were watching that on ESPN in the hospital.
ESPN 2, thank you.
Oh, boy.
It was never on ESPN. It was on ESPN 2.
Get it right. They didn't have the Ocho
Don't you
yet,
remember
so it was on
Sean the
ESPN 2.
Hammer Rayner playing... who else was there at the...
In 1994 when I was...
I don't think it was
created.
Probably 95 or 96, DJ.
What are you talking about?
They advertised on Comedy Central and MTV.
Okay.
And
you're trying to figure out who would have been on TV at the time? Would it not have been Kurt Loder?
No.
Let us know in the comments.
Sean the Hammer Rayner, dude.
Let us know in the comments who was on TV at the time. That's how you finish that out. That's how you squeeze that off.
Seriously, man. Was it Jason?
Why are you guys being dicks?
Because we're not that old.
I'm not that old either. This was 97.
Okay. A good point. It was 1997.
You weren't. 1997 is not a long time ago.
That's right, man. Are 9/11 jokes funny, Jason?
Yeah, they've always been funny though. You're asking the wrong guy.
Well, yeah, there was the guy who dropped one on the night of, right, or whatever.
I was thinking Jason would say, yeah, because 9/11 was a long time ago.
No, because it was an inside job.
Okay, good point. And on that note, everybody, thank you for listening to Brainstorm Brewery. We'll see you before it gets. We'll see you later. Before I get ourselves in any more trouble. Thank you so much for listening.
That's all, folks.
Now I'm mad the inside job got canceled. I'm mad again about that, Corbin. That's your fault. It's a good show.
Thank you for listening, everybody. This is Brainstorm Brewery. We'll see you next week.